Hi there, John Dross coming again from Macomb Square Music. This is going to be a follow-up video to my video on how to play flams. Again, I'm talking about single flams here. I'm not going to get into other flam rudiments. I'm going to take it just a little bit further, talking about when you're playing a bunch of notes in a row, how to put a flam in there. My last video was kind of just on how to play a flam, kind of just by itself. Sometimes you have that flam in the context of a bunch of other notes. For example, if I went 1E and a 2E and a flam, the flam uses both hands. So what ends up happening is I have a little double stroke there. 1E and a 2E and play with my left hand. When I play 3 with the flam, left hand plays the grace note, that little tap stroke, the ghost note. So it really is playing 1E and a 2E and a 3. And so you end up kind of having a little double stroke there. Not everyone realizes that. When I started playing drums, I didn't realize that. And I try to really force the notes out in my hands. I can already play double strokes. It's kind of a basic rudiment, double. But I didn't realize that created a double stroke. It wasn't in my head. So I ended up kind of really forcing it. I kind of realized later on, oh, that's just double stroke. So if I'm playing some notes and it ends in the flam, it's going to have a double stroke there. Now if the flam's on the E or the same thing, I have a double stroke in the right hand. 1E and a 2E and a 3E. I play 3 on the right hand and 3E, just as a little double stroke. And that's kind of all there is to that. As long as you kind of realize that and keep it relaxed, these should not be forced notes. Certain kind of notes when you play are kind of forced or whipped, but this shouldn't be one of them. These should just kind of drop in there, nice and relaxed. Again, what makes that flam sound is having that tap stroke and the full stroke together. The flam stroke comes just slightly before that. Bring them both down together. This one's closer, it'll hit first. But what really makes that sound is the tap and the absent, or the full stroke, whatever you want to call it there. So if it ends in a flam, you have a double stroke there. If it starts with a flam, you have a double stroke. Let's say I go, again, count 1, they're both playing. On the E, my left hand's playing, so my left hand went 1E. Again, as long as I'm aware of that and don't get tense and try to force the notes out or something, it's just a nice little double stroke. It's just down low double stroke. Okay, now, if I'm playing a flam in the middle of a bunch of notes, here's where it gets a little trickier, hang on. It ends up being a triple stroke. Let's say I'm playing 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4 with a flam on count 3. Let's just say 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4. My left hand was already playing 2E and a 3E, just alternating. But on count 3, it also played the grace note, so it went 1E and a 2E and a 3E. Again, when I first started playing drums, I didn't really realize that or think about it, and I would kind of smash my notes into the drum and get stiff and tense. It's really kind of just like a bounce catch, and they're all going to be pretty low. And the one in the middle ends up being the grace note for the flam. 1E and a 2E and a 3E. 1E and a 2E and a 3E. Kind of bounce catch. Not forced out. Now if I had a flam on a left-hand stroke, like an E or an 1 E and a 2 E and that would put a triple stroke in the right hand, who's going 1 E and a 2 E and 3 already. He's playing the 2 and the 3. Now it's going to play the also as the grace note for the flam. It goes 1 E and a 2 E and a 3. It makes a little triple stroke in there because it's in the middle of notes that I'm playing. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 and a 4. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 and a 4. Now again, I didn't realize that when I started drumming. It's very relaxed. Don't try and play it so low that it won't bounce. So I'm playing it about that high. But compared to my accent height, it's still a good definition. If it's not like that. I think I keep it on the low side. Again, I'm kind of just doing bounce catch. Bop, 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 bop. My fingers are kind of pushing in for those second and third notes. They shouldn't be forced. Nice, smooth little notes. Here's a nice little exercise to work on that. I'm going to play what we call a measure of check, or a check pattern. Just 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. Next measure will be, I'll put a flam on every downbeat. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. Makes my left hand play little triple strokes. 1 E, a 2 E, a 3 E. The next measure I'll play all on the E's. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. Which makes my right hand go 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and. Next measure will be all on the ands. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. Last measure is 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1. Usually I put a little back-to-back flam on the end, kind of just for fun. And right there is where I do have to whip my right hand. It's going to go a 1. Has to play the tap stroke for the flam on the but then play the accent for the downbeat. Left hand's easy, it's going a 1. My right hand plays a 1. So there's where I'm going to have a little whip motion in there. I have to really play that upstroke, I have to pop it up quickly to be able to play the next accent. But I'm right hand dominant, so it's not that hard there. So here's the exercise. It'll be a measure of check, flams on the downbeats, then flams on the E's, flams on the ands, flams on the stop on count 1. Here's how it kind of sounds. 1, 2, ready, play. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1, 2, 3, 4. E, 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 and, like that. That was a little sloppy. I'm trying to say it as I did it. If I do it a little bit smoother here and a little bit faster. 1, 2, ready, and. And that's it. And I say with all my stuff, start slow. Maybe you're a beginner watching this and like, man, I can't play that. Just do it slow. 1 E and 2 E and make sure you're relaxed. Don't play tense. It doesn't matter how slow you start off at. 1 E and 2 E and it doesn't matter. What matters is you play it well. You're developing that pattern in your brain. You see the way it feels in your muscles. Once it's comfortable, you could speed it up a little bit. Once that's comfortable, you could speed it up a little bit more. Okay? That's how all drummers start. Playing slow, deliberate, relaxed. As it gets comfortable, you can play it a little bit faster and faster, and over time it can come out decently fast. Okay, I'm going to show you that same exercise on the drum set. Be with you in just a moment. All right, so here we are behind the kit. I'm going to play that exact same thing, just kind of moving it around. And so I'm going to play the check pattern on the snare drum. I come to the flam and play the right hand flams down the floor tom, like 1 eanda, 2 eanda, 3 eanda, 4 eanda. Left hand flams, I'll put the primary note, the accent, the full stroke, up on the high tom. 1 eanda, 2 eanda, 3 eanda, 4 eanda. Just as a way to kind of get this idea of flams moving around the drum set. And for this, I'm leaving all those triple strokes and stuff on the snare, which actually kind of sounds pretty cool. So here's how it goes on the drum set. 1, 2, ready, and. Now at that speed, I could go a 1 pretty easily. Now if I'm playing a lot faster, I might just go a 1 right here. That's kind of hard to go a 1 down to the, especially my floor tom because it's so low. As I promised many months ago, I am working on a plan to get this raised up higher. Hopefully over this winter break, I'll get that done. But I can't promise anything. We'll see what happens. If you've enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. I'll see you next time.